Hello YouTubers and welcome aboard. I am Noob Flyboy X and welcome back to F1 2018 Career Mode. It is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and here just beforehand taking a look at some of our upgrades, and just as we are at the moment, I figure we could use some more engine stuff because it's a straight line track, and though we're good in a straight line, we can always use some more. Here we are in Q1 and we set the fastest time of that session so far. I know we're looking good because all through the practice sessions throughout the week and beforehand, I'd been looking pretty good. And in Q1, we are fastest. So that's looking good so far. In Q2, it looks like we're going to go even faster as Lewis Hamilton is unintentionally giving us a bit of a tow down the final straightaway here. It's not probably gaining us much, but our top speed there is 219 miles an hour. So pretty good top speed there. And again, we end Q2 in P1. So that's a provisional pole position for the time being. Here we are in Q3, looking to make it 3 qualifying sessions in a row. And there we go. That is the fastest time so far, a 1:41. So there we go. Unfortunately, I get pipped right at the last minute there by Lewis Hamilton, who puts in a blistering time, and so will edge me out for P1.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Iceman completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, and Verstappen, Perez, Raikkonen, Ocon, and Charles Leclerc, Magnussen, Sainz, Roman Grosjean and Ericsson, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Lance Stroll and Stoffel Van Dorn. Gasly and Brendan Hartley rounds off the group. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Excellent job yesterday. We qualified above expectations. Let's go out there and put in a performance.
Well, that sounds bloody good to me, Jeff. Also, I'm laughing here in the background because I see that some effort I did in Q2 is paid off. Qualified on the harder compound of tire, so I can do the one stop. Those around me are doing too. So even if I don't get a very good start, and it looks like I haven't gotten the best start, I will be able to rely on strategy to bring me back into this race. Lewis Hamilton gets away. Fortunately, the short run has kept me in contention there and hasn't let Bottas come through. Sebastian Vettel has gotten past Bottas behind me and is now going to be the one applying early pressure, probably. I want to catch up to Hamilton, though. I didn't spend all that time in qualifying and practice being fastest just to let him take first off me here. So I want to stay as close to him as I can. You can see me running a little wide off the exit of that corner as I'm really kind of pushing into these to try to get some speed out of the car. Behind me, Vettel is, getting pretty close, but Hamilton is trying to pull away just because he's got clean air. He'll be able to do that in the early stages here if he can, just keep that up. Coming now towards my arch nemesis part of this track, the castle section, where I DNF'd last year. Through immediately, and it looks like we're good for now. I've been figuring out the castle section more and more as the weekend went on here. So as we continue on through the first lap, looks like Vettel is still very close to me there. I'm defending a little bit as I slide around a bit on the harder compound in the middle sector here, but now coming toward the last sector I can really unleash the Williams' straight line potential. One last big braking zone here. Hamilton's already more than a second in front of me after just this one lap. Hopefully I'll be able to close him in so I can get DRS later on, but Vettel will be in my slipstream in this first lap here, and Bottas I think still behind him. Though Bottas is a little bit behind, I can see on the map. Vettel goes to my outside of that exit and for the inside of the next corner. He's coming up very quickly. That Ferrari's just as good in a straight line, it looks like. And there we go into the braking zone, and I just about get him. I leave him some room on the inside there, but probably not enough, so he backs out of it. And that will leave me in second place for now. Hamilton, though, already rocketing away into the distance here. On lap 2, though, The universe is about to align in my favor. As we head toward the castle section again, there's yellow flags flashing. Something's wrong. Usually when yellow flags happen, it means someone's had a mechanical failure, and I can see them now. It means that someone must be close to me. Hamilton's pulled to the inside. It is Lewis Hamilton, who is out of the race. I have inherited P1 with Hamilton's DNF. Behind me, though, there's a bit of chaos as where he parks up on the track there. Here we can see, from his point of view, what's going to happen. I fly past Sebastian Vettel and the others come by. He's on the apex of the corner, though, as Kimi Räikkönen comes past and has a bit of an impact there. I can see some pieces of Ferrari front wing flying. Meanwhile, coming back onto the front straightaway, Vettel's having another go at me in the slipstream here. Bottas is also close enough to take advantage as Vettel comes up my inside again. Bottas has a look to the inside, or rather the outside as well, but backs out and is in Vettel's slipstream. Again, I outbrake them and leave Vettel just enough room there, but he decides to back out of it. There's more yellow flags behind us. Someone's had an incident as well after Lewis Hamilton. We'll cut away in a moment, I think, to see who that was, but there's someone stopped in Kimi Räikkönen in the pits, and there the game just clears the car away. It looked to me maybe like it was a Force India. I'm not sure just yet. I'm more preoccupied on keeping my lead in the clean air. Here's the replay we can see. Looks like, oh, it is actually the Haas of Kevin Magnussen there. He's had an impact with a Force India and has ended up in the wall and missing a tire because of it. Very unfortunate for him. On lap 3, Vettel and Bottas are still close enough to have a go. Bottas has had a flying run up that straightaway. Into the first corner. He's on my outside there. He's on the rumble strip. He doesn't quite have the acceleration there. There's a bit of a tap between us. I probably squeezed him a bit too much. But there we go. We've got the inside of that corner, and we've got him. Vettel's now going to be contending with him. Those two are going to be hopefully fighting with each other now, because they've shown that they've got the pace to keep it up between each other. So hopefully that'll allow me to get away some. Coming now on to the beginning of lap 5. Looks like I think some people are starting to make pit stops behind me, or perhaps not. I'm not sure, I can't see exactly at the moment. No one's in the pits just yet, but there are some people fighting behind me. One of the two Red Bulls, I think at this point Daniel Ricciardo has gotten involved. And there they are, you can see them side by side as we head out of the exit of turn 2. So yes, I have opened up a gap that prevents them from having DRS on me. That is just what I need. Through the castle section again here, and we can see how much the gap has built up. If we look on the mini-map, we'll be able to see, yes, there we are. There is enough of a gap of the rest of the front runners fighting with each other, so that has allowed me to get away. So with this, I should be able to relax until pit stops come around. Not 100% certain on that yet, though. On lap 7, it looks like we're still making good progress. Lap 8, the start of lap 8, looks like Vettel will dive in. That'll leave Ricciardo and Verstappen to chase me in P2 and 3. So we're looking pretty good now. And as some others have made their pit stop, it looks like on lap 10, the closest behind me are the two Renaults of Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg, and they are more than 10 seconds adrift, I think. It's not quite enough to get me a pit stop and retain the lead, but it's plenty of time to all the rest of the runners in this race. On lap 11 is my pit stop, though. So we're going to give up some ground here, and we'll just have to see at this point how well my strategy is actually working, if the one stop will be enough to keep my lead. As we come trundling down the pit lane here, a few others actually will go past me out in the racetrack. I think just one of the Renaults, as one of the two will dive into the pits. And now as we come out on the beginning of lap 12, it looks like we're in 4th position with Valtteri Bottas just in front of us. We nearly had him in terms of getting the distance in the pit stop, but not quite. Vettel is out ahead. Looks like he's chasing down one of the Renaults even after a stop. The Renaults are on a one-stop like myself, I think. So Vettel is being able to challenge some of the one-stop runners. He's within the pit window of that Renault, so he's definitely got pace. We may need to watch out for him later. We're back up into the podium positions on the beginning of lap 13 as Carlos Sainz, who was the Renault who stayed out, finally pits. And now the others start making their second pit stops. First is Vettel on the beginning of lap 15, so I'm back up to second. At the beginning of lap 16, it's Bottas's turn. He had a longer middle stint, and now it's Ricciardo who's left to apply pressure to me. As we can see again on the mini-map, even if as I set a fastest first sector, Verstappen and Ricciardo are the ones chasing me, but Vettel, I can see him just behind Verstappen, so he is already looking to make up for the time lost in the pit stops with fresher and softer rubber. Through the castle section once again. Still close to the walls there, but everyone goes close to the walls. I've managed to get control of the car a lot better so I can keep ahead. By lap 18, Vettel's passed Daniel Ricciardo, no, not Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen is up to 3rd place. He's chasing Ricciardo down. So, looks like Vettel may actually be a threat as we have 7 laps to go here on lap 19. Was 8 laps just before then. Vettel makes the pass on the straightaway against Ricciardo on the beginning of lap 20 there. So he's no longer got anyone between me and him. He can probably start to see my car in the distance, and that'll just provide him with a target. Still coming through the middle sector here, I've got enough of a gap to him that I'm not terribly worried just yet, but I do know he's got pace. Looks like Ricciardo, though, is not going to be so much of a threat because I know at some point he will develop a mechanical issue and will cede his position to Max Verstappen. So it looks like Vettel, of course, is going to be the one chasing us down. On lap 21, he closes in a little bit more. On lap 22, what's the gap to him? It looks like 2.5 seconds. He's gotten that close to me. He doesn't need much more to be in DRS range, at which point there will be nothing I can do to keep him behind me. Nothing legal, probably. Here's the view from him. He can see me just up the road as we head, through some of the corners here. I think this is into, the first set of corners in the first DRS zone of the lap. I'm still there in the distance, so he's just being able to use me as a target to close in. He's on a compound, softer rubber, so even in a technical middle sector, he should have an advantage here for grip. Also, at some point, I've damaged my front wing slightly, though I don't remember where. Vettel's cut the gap to 1.9 seconds as we begin the second to last lap. At the rate he's closing in, I might have to worry about DRS. I'm not certain yet, though. It's getting awfully dicey here as we begin the final lap. As we do, Vettel is 1.6 behind. He's not within DRS range just yet. In the detection zone for the final straightaway of the lap, and the gap is still 1.6. He doesn't have DRS for this last straightaway. That has been my salvation. I've kept the gap just wide enough that I don't need to worry about him. It is going to be a spectacular first win for us. We move over toward the pit wall to celebrate and salute the team. Not only our first podium, our first win in Formula One.
Great drive. We did it. Good job.
Well-deserved victory for Williams then after that breathtaking Grand Prix.
Woohoo!
So, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Oh, I'd say it's the raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
And thus we taste victory for the first time, sharing the podium with Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen there. Looks like the respect has come a long way between us, as I've said before, but we're able to celebrate together on the podium. In that moment, I feel my plan actually get shaken a little bit. I feel like it might be actually more fun to go to Red Bull rather than to McLaren and then to Ferrari. To have Max Verstappen as a teammate and a rival would be pretty darn fun at this point, I think. But there we go. Our first taste of victory, and we did it in a Williams. Only one thing, though. This makes me think the AI are a bit too easy. Lance Stroll had a good race, though, getting up to P14, though, gaining positions, so it might not be as bad as I think. But we'll just have to see as the season goes on. Up next will be the Spanish Grand Prix. Difficult track to pass on, so we'll have to see if we can make that work too. But YouTubers, that'll be the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching my first win. And of course, have a nice day.